Mali has lost one of its gallant sons in literature. Seydou Badian Kouyaté put his pen to rest this Friday at the age of 90. He was the one who wrote the Mali anthem and was interviewed by our correspondent Aliou Diawara last year. Aliou Diawara, thank you for joining us.
Bonjour.
Good morning. So national funeral services will be dedicated to Badian Kouyaté, a political but also a man of culture. What legacy does he leave? Amongst his works, we can note Sous l'Orange, followed by L'amour de Chaka, written in 1957. The masterpiece is taught everywhere in schools in Africa. It puts into perspective the generation conflict between elders and young people about tradition and modernity. The first embodied by the elders and the second leaning towards the young. The author proposes to reconcile the two. In 1965, Seydou Badian wrote African Leaders in the Face of Their Peoples. This book enabled him to receive the award, the Grand Prix Littérature d'Africanews. He was tied with the Ivorian writer Bernard B. Dadier. And remember that this prize is awarded each year by the Association of French Language Writers. Other works by Seydou Badian can also be cited: The Blood of Masks, written in 1976, Holy Wedding in 1977, and The Season of Traps in 2007. He is also the author of the national anthem called Mali. He has also written many texts, including our pioneer anthem.
Aliou? So you had the opportunity to discuss with him a little more than a year ago. He was 89 years old then. Could you recall to us some of what he shared with you then, especially his view on Malian literature?
Well, he was always lucid, but he kept his analytical ability, even if it was somewhat physically impaired because of age. And ironically, I had called him personally on the phone to make an appointment with him the day before coming to talk to him. He was for a more committed, patriotic youth type of literature, a literature that reflects society, a committed literature. He himself constantly denounced the evils of society, excesses and abuses. He thought that it was the role of literature to contribute to a more just and equitable society. For some time, he had been away from writing, but he did not hesitate to honor with his presence the major literary activities, including the literary season, to encourage the younger generation. Seydou Badian is an example for Malian writers. Awards bearing his name are given to young writers. So we note that he was a politician, a champion of Pan-Africanism. He kept some illustrations on this subject. And also, well, a tweet from the President of the Republic focused on this and other dimensions of his life as an early independence activist. It's true that he was very attached to Pan-Africanism. He was a former companion of Modibo Keïta. This first independent president of Mali in 1960 was one of the strong advocates of African unity, with other leaders like Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. He thought that a United States of Africa was the salvation of the continent. I also mentioned earlier African Leaders in the Face of Their People, one of his writings. Well, this book, he looks at what to do to ensure that Africa is really and definitely taken in hand by Africans. For Seydou Badian, Africa has an interest in talking only once against the West in order to find hope and to take off and to free itself more from the influence of the West. He did not understand why the continent was divided for economic reasons.
Merci, Aliou Diarra.